Let me show you how to use the Jotform Feedback button on your WordPress website using the Feedback Button plugin. So follow me to my desktop right now. What's up everyone, welcome to Jotform, and on this video I'm going to show you how to use the Jotform Feedback button on a WordPress website using the plugin. So it's going to be super easy to integrate on a WordPress website. So let's get started. The first thing we need is a feedback form that we're going to use for the feedback button. So let's go ahead and I'm going to create a simple form just for testing purposes. So I'm going to ask for basic details and I'm going to keep this private. So I'm just going to add a long text to get the feedback. For example, here we go. I'm going to allow an upload file. Here we go, because I want them to upload a screenshot if needed. Okay. Then I'm going to name this feedback so they understand what this is for. Here we go. So we got a basic feedback form that we're going to use on the feedback button on WordPress. Now the plugin that we're going to use is this one right here, Feedback Button from Jotform. We can go ahead and download this and upload it on WordPress, or we can just search for it here on the plugin section on the WordPress website, which is what I'm going to do. So let's go into the plugin section. We're going to click on Add New Plugin. In this section, we're going to search for the Feedback Button plugin. Now let's go ahead and search for our plugin, in this case, Feedback Button from Jotform, okay? And that's gonna be this plugin right here. We want to install this. Now let's go ahead and activate it. And we are now good to go to start using this plugin. Now this plugin is going to be available under the menu Settings, Feedback Button. It's right here. So let's go ahead and select it. Here we go. And we are now going to start with the setup. So first thing we need is the form ID to select the feedback form that you want to use. In this case, you can go ahead and type in the ID found on your Jotform link, or you can just go ahead and click on the icon here and select the form that you want to use. In this case, this is the feedback form that I want to use. Let's go ahead and continue, and it's going to add the form ID here. So it makes it really practical. The button text, in this case, by default, it says feedback. You might want to use something different, maybe a different language or something that is more appealing to your viewers. In this case, feedback is really clear what it's for. Now the form dimensions. So in this case, depending on the form, you can tweak the dimensions right here, which I'll do after testing this. Okay. Then we have the screen alignment. So is it going to be a bottom side? So it's going to be to the bottom side, or do you want to do top right, right side, left side? In this case, I'm going to do left side for the first test. Then we have the horizontal alignment, left, center, or right. In this case, right is fine. Lightbox, the type of box that you want to use. Let's go ahead and use this one by default. And I'm going to change the color for this since my site is more blue. So I'm going to use this. I can fine tune this later on. Let's go ahead and save this right now. Here we go. Let's go ahead and test this out on the live site. And here we go. The feedback button is now available on the left side as I requested. I'm going to click on this, and it's going to load up the feedback form. You can see here that we have the details to add the feedback, and we can upload a file right here. I can go ahead and submit this, and I'm going to get the feedback really easily because I have a clear option here on the left where they can click on it and it'll take them to the feedback inside of the website. So it's really easy and practical. Now for the options, for example, I've sent it to the left side. I'm going to send it to the right side now. And I'm also going to modify the height. So you can see here, we need a little bit more of height. And it's optional. They can still scroll and it's going to work fine, but you can give it a little bit more height. So in this case, I'm going to set 700. Let's go ahead and save this. Here we go. Let's go ahead and refresh our site. Here we go. It's now loaded up. And now we have the button on the right. Let me go ahead and click on this. And you can see now we have a 700 site. You can see here that there is no need for scrolling inside of the feedback option. So if you want to set this up, if your form is not really long, you can go ahead and tweak this right here. Now you can see here that we are now able to receive feedback really easily with the feedback form, and these submissions are going to reflect on our Jotform tables so we can view every single one of those feedbacks. So I'm just going to say test for this purpose. I'm not going to upload a file. I'm going to submit this. Let's go over to Jotform to view the actual feedback. Okay, so we are back here on the builder. Let's go into tables for this specific feedback form that we've created. And we're going to view each one of those feedback submissions right here. You can see here today, and this is the feedback, no file upload in this case. So it's really easy and practical to receive the feedback with the feedback button. Now, if you want to make this more compact, we can go ahead and remove the top bar. We can also shrink this So for example, in the advanced options, I can go ahead and shrink. I can also do this for the file upload. Let's go ahead and shrink this too. And we have a more compact feedback form. So let's go ahead and test this out over here on the website. Let's go ahead and refresh this. Here we go. It's now updated. We still have the feedback button over here. Let's go ahead and test this out. And we should have a compact feedback form now. Now in this case, what I need to do is customize the height. So for example, since it's now more compact, I'm going to do 400 in this case, and I'm going to change the Lightbox to a different one. So you can see how that is going to reflect over here on the live site. So let's wait for this to update. Here it is. Let's go ahead and refresh the site. And here it is. It's now updated. Let's click on it. And we now have a more compact box over here. You can see that it doesn't have a bar on the top because we are using the different Lightbox style over here. And there's a third style that you can check out here. So it's super easy and practical to add a feedback button on your WordPress website using this plugin. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for Jotform right now and start using the feedback form on your WordPress website. Please let me know what you think about the feedback button from Jotform and what you would like to see in the future. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell notification to get notified when new videos come out. And that's a wrap.